Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef, and today I'm going to show you how to make pink lemonade ice cream cake, and we are going to feature Pampered Chef's new Flex Plus multi-prep set. So you guys get a little peek back here. This is our newest appliance from Pampered Chef, and I'm actually going to show you all three appliances today with this one recipe. So I hope you guys are excited to see this. This is an amazing cordless appliance set. So you get three appliances in one. They're controlled by the same main piece and the removable battery. So let's go ahead and get started. I want you guys to see how all of these work. So we're gonna start off with our food processor. So in the food processor here, I have about 32 vanilla wafers, and I have the regular chopping blade in here. We have two additional blades that you can use, so you can choose which one you need. We have a slicing blade and a grating blade. And of course, these are really sharp, so make sure you're really careful when you're handling those. We're gonna put the blade in first and then the vanilla wafers. We're gonna attach the lid. Oops, there we go. Oops, I don't have it on there right. Okay, we have a pampered not perfect moment. Maybe I'm doing it backwards here. There we go. Pampered not perfect. I had the handle on the wrong side for me. So you're gonna put this together, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach the battery to the handle. You use this handle for all three appliances. So you've got a food processor, an immersion blender, and a mixer. So you're gonna love all of this. We're gonna use all three of them. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna attach the battery, and just so you know, you get two batteries and a charger. So you can see this is red because it is not fully charged, so I have already used this one a little bit. So you get two batteries and a battery charger. And then you're gonna attach this right here, and so to release it, you just press these two buttons on the side and pull up. Now, what you're gonna do, there's a little safety button right here on the side. You wanna press that, and when you do, this piece lights up, and then you'll be able to chop. So let's go ahead and get started. Or not, let's see. There we go. So I needed to increase the speed on here, so I had to actually press that button. So to get it to go, we're going to spin. And all we're doing here is making basically like a vanilla wafer crust. I'm gonna pour a couple tablespoons, actually I think this is 3 tablespoons of melted butter right in. Let's see. There's that safety on there, so I have to make sure it hits that. There we go. So I'm gonna take the battery off, and that's just a safety feature to take the battery off, because if the battery's off, then nothing is going to work without it. We're gonna take the lid off here, and we're gonna make this ice cream cake in our brand new Springform Pan. So I'm gonna set these crumbs aside for the moment because I wanna show you guys this Springform Pan. So love the blue color. It matches all of our other blue baking pans, and it has a really easy release collar. The first thing we need to do is we need to spray this with a little bit of oil. So we've also restyled our kitchen spritzer. You can see that here. It works the same as other ones that we've had in the past, and I've already pumped a good bit of pressure in there. Spray that. We don't want the ice cream cake to stick. When you're done spraying, you want to burp the bottle, let all the air out, and that'll keep it from having like a really sticky buildup on the outside of the bottle, because when all that pressure is in there, it's just gonna push all of the oil, it's gonna force it out. So you always wanna make sure you release that. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take out the blade here, and I'm gonna keep it outside of my sink. If you guys have watched any of my other videos, I'm all about keeping safe, and I bleed really well, so anything sharp goes on the side of my sink. Don't put sharp things in the sink because you might cut yourself. All right. So we're gonna scrape this out, and what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna use our new bowl scraper, and I'm gonna try to, just gonna flatten this right in the pan. This keeps me from getting my hands really messy. I'm just gonna press this down. So we have a vanilla wafer crust. This is the perfect tool. to do this. All right. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take some more vanilla wafers and I'm gonna layer them, I'm gonna stand them up on the side, right inside of this Springform pan. All the way around. Let's see, I'll go faster if I don't hold the bowl. So we're gonna go all the way around on the inside so that this will be a really pretty edge. So I tried to pick vanilla wafers that weren't cracked, that were in pretty good condition, because I know sometimes in the box they kind of get messed up. So we're gonna just press these up, up against the edge. Just a few more here. And then I'm gonna set this aside so we can get the next step ready to go. So for the next step, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make some whipped cream. And we're gonna do this using the immersion blender attachment to the Flex Plus. So you do get a blending container here. So like if you wanted to make mayonnaise or something, you could do that right in this container, and it does have a lid for storage. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put all of our whipped cream ingredients into the container, and then I'll show you how to use the immersion blender. So 1 cup of heavy cream, 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. We're gonna measure 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And this step is gonna be a little bit louder. My camera does muffle the sound a little bit, so I try not to talk too much during this because I want you to actually hear what I'm saying. So again, we're gonna attach this handle, which you use with all the appliances, right to your the immersion blender attachment. I'll add the battery last. And that's a safety thing, like I mentioned before, and got a little bit of whipped cream left on here from when I whipped the other part. But you can see that this piece of the immersion blender is nylon, so you can actually use this in nonstick cookware and not have to worry about damaging your cookware. I've already made 2 cups of whipped cream. We're gonna use all of this in our ice cream cake here in just a minute, but let's go ahead and get our battery on, press that safety, and let's see. I'm gonna make sure I'm going up and down. Let me get the speed up a little bit. You wanna be pulling this up and down so that you can actually get air into your whipped cream. You can go one more speed, let's do that. There we go. Check this out. So look, whipped cream in our immersion blender. So you see I took the battery off. Just try to get in the habit of doing that. I'll clean this off camera. But we've got a total now of about 3 cups of whipped cream, which we're gonna need in just a few minutes. But let's go ahead and get the last step of this recipe together. We're gonna use our new plastic mixing bowl. One thing you want to keep in mind, when you are using this Flex Plus as a hand mixer, make sure, whoops, I keep putting this in upside down. There we go. Make sure that you are not using a glass bowl. This is not made to be used in glass. So we actually came out with this plastic bowl specifically for this Flex Plus. So we recommend that you purchase that if you don't have a plastic bowl already. You can choose your beaters or your whisks with your Flex Plus. So I'm just gonna use the whisks for this. And you'll notice I don't have the battery attached, just like when you're using this, using a mixer that's plugged into the wall. You never wanna have it plugged in when you're putting your whisks or your beater attachments on, because it can be dangerous and you could hurt yourself. So once you're ready to go, you can add the battery. I'm gonna set this aside. What we're gonna do is we're gonna combine about 2 cups of ice cream, and this ice cream has had a little bit of time to get soft. I actually have it in our insulated bowl, but I didn't put the lid on the insulated bowl because I didn't want it to stay completely frozen, but I didn't want it to melt. So I was kind of using this strategically here. And if you don't know about our insulated bowls, I love these because they're designed to keep food hot for up to 2 hours when you put the lid on them. They'll also keep food cold, as you can see with my ice cream. And if you've never seen this before, this is our ice cream spade. And I love this product. It won't scratch the inside of our containers. All right, so let me rinse this off because I'll probably use this in just a second. So we're gonna do ice cream and some defrosted frozen pink lemonade. So I said that. It's frozen lemonade that has been defrosted. Hopefully that made sense. So 6 ounces of this with the vanilla ice cream. And if you don't know what I am referring to, this is an example here. I bought this at Walmart. I don't know that they make 6-ounce cans anymore, but this way you can actually make 2 recipes. Okay, so same thing on this. You have to push the safety, and let's see. There's also a little lock up here. So I'm just gonna use this on the lowest setting because I don't want it to slosh. I'm just gently mixing this together. And that little no-skid gripper on the bottom of the bowl, perfect for this. All right, perfectly smooth. I'll show you what this looks like. Remember, take that battery off, and this is how you release the beaters. There's a button right here on the top. You're gonna press that, and it pops these right out. And then you can remove the handle from the mixer attachment. All right, so here's what we have. We have a beautiful pink mixture. I almost poured it out. We're gonna add our whipped cream. So we've got 1 cup that I made here. You could probably do at least 2 cups in this at one time. I just did 1 in front of you guys today. And then we're gonna add this whipped cream. Now you don't wanna mix your whipped cream in with the mixer because you will, it'll get too watery. You wanna just sort of fold. So I'm just folding this in. So we want to get this nice and incorporated so it's a nice pink color. And then we'll pour this into the Springform pan and put it in the freezer. I recommend putting in a deep freezer if you have one. It'll freeze faster. I'm going to try to get some of these lumps out before we pour it in. Deep freezer will freeze faster, and that means you can eat it faster, right? So you defrost your ice cream and then you have to wait for it to freeze. Okay. So what we're gonna do, have a couple more lumps. I'm gonna just stir that a little bit more. All right, make some room here. Bring our Springform pan over. So if you guys can see, I've got those vanilla wafers in there. Just pour this right in. And this is like the perfect licking bowl, by the way. Like, your kids would want to lick this. My grandma calls these child cheaters because you can cheat your kids. Check this out. So like I'm able to get all this extra out of the bowl with this bowl scraper. All right. Excuse me. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna rinse this off. I want to smooth the top of that out a little bit before we freeze it, because this is the top of our cake, so I don't want that lumpiness on the top. So get a nice smooth surface there. Perfect. And then we'll freeze this for a few hours, and then right before we freeze it, I'm actually going to add a lemon slice garnish. Before I show you that, I want to tell you a little bit more about the Flex Plus. So the Flex Plus comes with this really awesome cooking guide. Like all of the appliances from Pampered Chef, we're gonna give you a cooking guide so that you know what you can make and which appliance to use when you're making it. So definitely got to check that out. It's so cool. And then for these lemon, well here, let me show you this first. So this is gonna go in the freezer, and I'm gonna put this stretch fit cover, maybe, my hands, whoops, let me try it from a different angle. Don't go from the side that has the little buckle. There we go. So I've got this stretch fit lid. to put on here. I don't have to worry about any aluminum foil and use anything that I would just throw in the trash. And it also makes it easy to transport. So we'll slide that aside and let's make our little garnish. So this recipe actually calls for pink sprinkles. I don't have pink, so I'm just going to use the purple that I have. So I'm gonna slice these lemons. They've seen better days. I didn't realize how sad these lemons were. So they're a little bit tough. And I'm just gonna cut in a little slice right here. Put a little bit of sprinkles into a little bowl. I have these left over from Mardi Gras. So instead of buying pink, we're just gonna use purple. And then we're just gonna roll the rind in the colored sugar. And then we'll be able to garnish this when we're done. So that is the pink lemonade ice cream cake. And I will have pictures of the finished product in my recipe community, which you can find at theflipflopchef.com. If you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to like it, share it, and follow me on YouTube at The Flip Flop Chef, as well as Facebook. So I'll see you next time. Take care.